This might be, I don't know which order I'm going to release these videos on, the plus 12 ultra buffs and any ultra buff review video or whatever. So I need the fucking full caster. I need the Jenkins cards though. This is played at from 2 months ago. Here are this. I did on the same state. In case you're curious, before patch or post patch. This is before the plus 12 buff, I believe. Yeah, I don't need to fucking shuffle. It's gonna be easy. I'm not gonna exalt for the cards. I'm just exalting for the corrosion damage to make it a fair comparison. So this is double exalt. Again, I don't need these Onyx Plumes because Caster's effect is the first Onyx Plumes is whatever, and we're going to see the corrosion damage in the buff. It's probably going to one-shot. So this is pre-buff. You can see it's not AoE, 7,000. I think right now it is 11,000, but we'll see. This Get 'em Brown. So that was pre-buff, 28,000. 28,000, 35,000. Post-buff. That is probably, that combo I did earlier, that doesn't seem a lot. So 70,000, this is post right now. In the clip right after, it's going to be with Vol and with the other exils. Just so you can see how busted the buff is. So this is post buff, plus 12. Again, we don't need the caster cards in hand because I would just want to over exalt on them for the damage buff. So this is post buff when I did the testing there. So it went up. It now does AoE. That's a plusable effect, and the front mob should be 11,000 corrosion. The cards covered it, if I remember. So yeah, that is how massive the two buffs were. Current flares. At the time of me recording this intro, you're gonna be talking to past flares, and future flares, and slightly older past flares. Flares from different timelines, a multiversal threat, a conglomeration of flares, just like the time-traveling Power Rangers Time Force. Just imagine Power Rangers Time Force and the plot. That is who you're going to be listening to today. This video was several weeks into making. My editor is just splicing together flares from different timelines. So, to just compare the buffs as I'm going over them. Okay? Any new buffs at the time when this video is out will be just plop randomly throughout the video. So the jarring transition is because of a breach in the timeline. So let's go over fucking Ultra Realm. The Cassia one's pretty bad. So this is the Cassia effect. The bottom text is what's different. Whenever another Awakener plays a strike, it also triggers opening act. Before, only when Cassia plays a card do you get temporary strength. However, it's only 18 at level fucking 70. So this is all it does. 18. It is literally one of the worst plus 12 buffs. Ultra got the shit end of the stick in terms of Cassia. Like, look at the buff Jenkins got. And this is the buff Cassia got. Whenever another Awakener, not her, plays a strike. The only situation where this is relevant is in a Manchette team. But most of you guys are using Cassia on a discard team. On a discard team, 18 strength each. I don't need to stress how little that is. So fucking Liz. Liz is also pretty bad because it's base damage increase. It is not that good scaling compared to Nymph, and I'll show you guys why. So, because of how the math works. Liz got the short end of the stick, unless you're a fucking idiot. The reason why is because this type of buff is one of the worst buffs in the game. Like, if you read the thing, it's 15% of her attack. A level 90 Liz. This buff increases her damage dealt by 40 every 3 instances of damage. This 40 number does not scale. It's just that flat voided number. It's the same buff as the Arita Exalt. That's how I knew it was bad beforehand, as opposed to the Nymph buff. The Nymph buff is just 25%, which is several times stronger than the Liz buff. I don't understand why they did that when Liz is already underperforming. And on top of this, so what I mean on this is bad. So let me show you. Arouse. So Corrupted Flame, Deadly Flame. Okay, I need to... Okay, so I play this Corrupted Flame. It's going to trigger once. So 881. You see this? That is the buff. It buffs that text by 40 damage. Every time. It is... And when you strength scale or anything, it does not buff that portion. It's the same basket as strength scaling. It's the same basket as damage amp. So it does not multiply with anything. So that's why the Liz buff is pretty bad. Because that is just a flat base 40 damage. So let me show you what I mean. So again, that's the base 40 damage. So let's rewind a turn. Let's fucking get the Goliath. Where is it? Here we go. This is the 12 strength. This is 12 strength. Watch this. It went up by 12 damage. So it's the same basket multiplier, and I'll do this. Actually, why did I do that? Let me wait another turn. Let me wait another turn for a clear example. I know I'm gonna get the Goliath card. So it does not multiply on top of another. It's just additive number. It is an additive buff. It's just flat 40. It's not multiplied by strength or anything because it's the same basket. So do this. So we're gonna play this. Plus 40. This, the strength gain. Oh, this is the steal. Fuck. That was a bad example because Law of the Strong is a strength steal. The boss got strength that turn. So that's a bad example, but let's do Law of the Strong first to make it show. So Law of the Strong. That 1,000, unless they change how to do the math. 1017. So this is 3. Yeah. You see that? 1057. It went up by exactly 40. It will always go up by 40. So it's the same as strength. It's the same basket as strength. So you can think of it as gaining 40 strength with a level 90 Liz every time you proc that. You can think of it as gaining 40 strength. That's another way to think of that buff. Whether you think getting 40 strength every 3 proc is good or bad is up to you. But it's bad compared to other damage multipliers in the game that we've also seen with the Jenkins buff, which you've seen earlier in this video if my editor edited it correctly. So this buff is dog shit. It is so bad. It is so bad compared to Nymph buff. I don't understand why Nymph got the better buff. So this is Tink's new buff effect, the bottom option. The first time Tink plays a skill each turn, generate 1 temporary strife with 0 Arithmetica. Tink's strike base damage plus 200%. Yeah, you are never gonna rouse Tink. The only team this goes well in is on a Manchette team, and you don't want to waste 3 fucking mana playing a Tink skill card. Because again, this only triggers when playing a Tink skill card, meaning her 3 costs or her 2 costs on that turn. And you have to rouse them. So on a team, like, the only team you want to use is on Manchette, you are wasting 3 or 2 mana. And this buff is for next turn. So you play this. Wow. Wow, guys. 1,000 damage. Level 90 Tink. Not... Congratulations, guys. You roused Tinked. That extra 1,000 damage is going to help, guys. The extra 1,000 damage is going to help you kill the boss. Look at Jenkins' buff earlier in the video. My editor edited it correctly. Look at Jenkins' buff. This is 1,000 damage buff, guys. I know you guys are saying Tink is the best unit ever. I know you're following other garbage players think Tink is actually a good unit. This 1,000 damage buff puts her in S tier, right, guys? Isn't she S tier right now? I have never seen numbers this high. Can anyone else generate this high number? Can this card generate a higher number? Oh. This must be a wailed out Hamlet. Oh. That was unfair. Let's use my G-Doll. Oh, it's a third of Tink. It's better than G-Doll. Better than G-Doll, confirmed. Yeah, that is the Tink buff. It's only relevant in a Monjet team, and even then, you're wasting mana to play your card. Okay, so if you're not retarded, you know that this Winkle buff is very good. It's one of the best buffs you can get. So on paper, if you look at it, most players, like dog shit players, will not understand why this is good. The reason why it's good is because when you're playing a stalling team, when you're about to finish off a mob fight like here, let's say you're playing this. You exile. You're about to finish it off. You exile on Jenkins. You do this, and you start killing. You start killing. And before you end the turn, you rouse Winkle. You do this. And it regens whoever you exalted to finish the mob fight. So you can have more Alienus for the next fight. On top of refilling Winkle's Alienus. And Winkle is an Alienus battery. Remember. So you get Alienus battery off of Alienus battery. So this buffs her intended role as an Alienus battery when you're going from mob fight to mob fight. So when you're just about to finish off a unit, you can, if you have the spare Keyflare, not always, when you have the spare Keyflare, you do that, and you can just, win. So we have the Winkle XL, and we have a filled up Jenkins for the next battle. And we can stall some more. So that is the use case of the fucking Winkle buff. It is really good. It's not broken, but it buffs her intended role, unlike the fucking, it is an insane buff. So yeah, that was just with a few Get 'em Browns. But yeah, it was that is basically the Winkle buff. That is the use case for the Winkle buff. It's not broken. It synergizes with her kit more. It is a good buff, unlike the Tink buff, unlike the Liz buff. Compared to any other unit, this is also a bad one. This is one of the worst limited buffs ever. This does not make sense. So the bottom option is the Daffodil buff. Generate one temporary Skull Reaver. Skull Reaver is her 3-cost card that gets a permanent buff the entire stage whenever it last hits a unit. However, it does not even put it in your hand. What it does? It puts in Ultra Turn. It puts in Ultra Turn. So even if you need it immediately, the only use case for this is that it speeds up your Ultra Turn by 1 turn. That is the buff. You get your Ultra Turn 1 turn faster. After you rouse. 1 time, each mob fight, you get your Ultra Turn 1 turn faster with a Skull Reaver. That is love. There's nothing else to it. So it doesn't take an effect every fight, because you're not going to get Ultra Turn every fight. You're going to stall Ultra Turn every fight. Why would you rouse Daffodil? You don't. So, and you get this card. The last hit card. I think they saw everyone using Ultra Turn to stall. If you're a good player, you're using Ultra Turn to stall, and they don't want that. But that's how you're supposed to use Ultra Turn. To stall until an oh shit moment. Until you're ready. That's how you're supposed to use... Well, that's not how they want you to use Ultra Turn. That's how everyone uses Ultra Turn. So, this is the Wanda buff, guys. Again, editor, use my other video instead of this, probably. Because it shows it more in depth. This is just a meme because I want to show this on stream. How funny this is. This is the buff. You exalt. Discard. Takes effect twice. Guys, 2,500 counter. Limited unit, by the way. Level 90, by the way. 2 plus 12 SSR wheels, by the way. 10 Soulforge, by the way. Steppenwolf, by the way. 2,500 counter. 2,500 counter, guys. Every time you exalt and you play that 4-cost card. Oh, it's actually less than this because some of the counter is from our exalt. It's actually only 1,500 counter from our 4-cost card. If you're a bit want to be nitpicky about it, it's actually less than 1,000 counter. It's actually less than 1,000 counter because all it does is her next 2 command card is double triggered. This card gives 467 counter. I'm not manipulating anything. I even give her the juicy G-Doll. I gave her the juicy G-Doll. But maybe I G-Doll exalt. Maybe I cheat. I'm gonna cheat right now. I did not do this with Caecus. I'm gonna cheat. G-Doll exalt. She needs it. We have 920 counter, guys. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair for players. You didn't arouse her. You didn't arouse her. Okay. Okay. Let's rouse her. G-Doll exalt. This is going to be bigger value. Okay. Base 1368. 1368. So we have to subtract that. 1368. 1,600 counter. 1,600 counter. 1,600 counter, guys. 3,000 counter. After all that. After all that. And every time she exalts. Versus Caecus. Again, not optimized. Shitty wheels. No G-Dog exalt. We're just going to play this one Rouse card. This is higher value than the Wanda, by the way, guys. This is not even a red stance. That was just me rousing him. And look, I'm gonna play this card. This card's a defense card. It doesn't do anything. It just gives me that 12 strength. But with the rouse spec, let's see how much. Wait. Let me just play this 1-cost defense, guys. Remember, we played a 4-cost card with Wanda. This is a 1-cost. And it's not limited to just 2 cards a turn. It's as many Caecus cards as possible. 8,000 counter. Without Vone on the boss, guys. Without Vone on the boss. 8,000 counter. That was me memeing. I did not try. So, what if I was serious? I put Vone on the boss. I red stance. I do that. I play protective. I abyss him. Boom. And shattered. That crit. So 1,600. Okay, let's try it without G Murphy. No G Murphy here. Just these two. Again, let's keep the wheels the same. Because we want to nerf everyone on our team to make it fair for Wanda. We want to nerf everything. Wrong wheels, wrong everything. Where she's using random wheels. I don't care. Oh, I didn't even G-Dog exalt, guys. It was without a G-Dog exalt too. I used a G-Dog exalt with fucking the previous. I used a G-Dog exalt with Wanda, guys. So let's get some Caecus cards. Clear our hand first. So Rouse, Caecus. So this is blue stance, less technical damage. So this is gonna be way less counter, guys. 700. So it's lower. 3 cards, 3,000 counter. It's already more than Wanda. And that's without Vaughn, without G-Dog Exalt. So, let's see more optimized run. Let's see what happens when I Rouse. Play this. Exalt on G-Dog. Exalt on Caecus. Red stance. Caecus. The defense. 4,000. Shattered. 8,000. So this is random shitters and G-Doll. Caecus. 8,000 counter just by... And Wanda's is a limited unit. This is a standard unit, guys. This is a standard unit. Wanda's... So this is 10,000 counter. Turn 1. I mean, turn 2. Doing nothing. Doing nothing. Doing absolutely dog shit. So I can just do this. Protective. Yeah. We gain close to 2,000 counter. Every turn. Per card played with Caecus. Per card played. Not... So you can trigger this 5 times. You can only trigger the Wanda thing twice on a 4-cost card. That was the Wanda buff, guys. I hope all of the Wanda fans enjoyed the immense amount of counter Wanda generates now. So this is the Pollux buff. So the Pollux buff is the bottom text, which is Sacred Heart inflicts bleed equal to 100% of the damage. That's all it is. It's just like, think of it as a double damage buff like many. It's a double damage buff. It's just 2x damage on his Sacred Heart of bleed. However, with caveats, the bleed will get cleansed if you already killed the mob. So it is decent. It is a good buff. This is a very, very strong buff. It is not as good as some of the other buffs I've shown today. So this is Sacred Heart without it. 1,400. So all it does is it, gives the fucking bleed part. So just think of it as a 2x damage buff on his Sacred Heart. Yeah. It's the damage as bleed. So it's 2x damage buff. However, you also get the, the shuffle effect of the Sacred Heart. Yeah. And remember, only the first card matters. The second card does way less. So it kind of, I don't know, it kind of ruins how most players play Pollux. Because now, with the Rouse, you want your fucking Pollux ability to be on the Sacred Heart instead of, other cards. So, because it doesn't really buff his other big damage cards, like Soul Searing, his AoE, or Cleansing Judgment. It only buffs his Sacred Heart. So, if you're going to Rouse him with a Wailed Out, you're more incentivized to play the Sacred Heart first versus any other card. So it's not really a 100% buff in my mind. Because, again, playing Sacred Heart outside of the first buff is very weak. It's very weak in comparison. So that's basically the Pollux buff. It's pretty lackluster compared to Caster, compared to most units. Quam I don't recommend because it's just Symbiosis cap and damage instance blood. It's not worth the plus 12 regardless. Because if you're plus 12 in here, you're not plus 12 in your DPS. and you're not going to reach 20 symbiotic cap in a fight. Because the base symbiotic cap for Clem, I think, is 15. So it's a 5 symbiosis. Because you're going to use symbiosis often to decrease the strength and everything. It's not really worth going over. That's every unit I can play. I covered every Ultra unit but Horla. I don't have a plus 12 Horla. But Horla's buff is pretty irrelevant. It's decent, but it's not a reason to plus 12 her. I am missing a plus 12 Karen. I did not go for plus 12 Karen or a plus 12 Nymph. But the plus 12 buffs is insane. Just the final closing moments. Like, I went over every unit today. Like, the Outliers, like Caecus, like Castor, like Jenkins, and then you have stuff like Tink. And you have stuff like fucking Daff. Like, all these units, I can't believe who's in charge of the balance team. Like, these fucking plus 12 buffs are so... There's such a big gulf. Like, Thorazine is nice for Nostra. It doesn't fix his issue when fucking units that are invuln, you know?